guys, the Basic Brick here. Today I'm going to be doing another gameplay commentary, and today I'm going to be talking about what I see to be the future of Team Fortress 2 going forward. New Year's Eve is almost approaching, the New Year's coming up, and I felt like it'd be a good time to talk about what I think is going to be in store for Team Fortress 2 in the future. So first I'm going to talk about what I think is going to happen, and then I'm going to talk about the more positive, what I would like to happen. So yeah, anyways, let's just get into it. Okay, so first, what do I think is going to happen to Team Fortress 2 in the future? Well, I don't think much is going to happen, to be honest. I don't really think there's much of a future for Team Fortress 2. Now, that doesn't mean I think the game is going to die. On the contrary, I think the game is actually going to last for fucking ever, alright? I genuinely don't see TF2 truly dying anytime in the near future. However, I also don't see it growing or really anything else major happening to it in the future as well. I see it to be in this sort of limbo state. Valve just clearly doesn't care about TF2 anymore, like doesn't care about it to the extent where they're going to make really any new meaningful content. I do think they're going to continue with the Halloween updates. I do think they're going to continue with the Smithmas updates. I do think they're going to be continuing with putting shitty hacks into the game. But I really don't see anything more than that. Maybe an occasional bug fix or two if we're lucky. I don't really see any fixes for the bots. Valve doesn't really have any reason to get rid of them because they're still making a profit off the game. And people are still playing it. It still has a thriving community despite the bots. And the bots literally pay for premium. So I don't see Valve really doing anything about the bots in the future. I know it's incredibly irresponsible, but when has Valve really been responsible with their online games? Like, at least TF2, they haven't been responsible for it in ages. The community is really what's keeping TF2 alive at this point. And I think the community is going to be keeping TF2 alive for the foreseeable future. I really don't see this game dying. I do see community servers becoming more and more popular in the future. I also do see, however, bots naturally kind of dying out. From what I can see, bot makers are just trying to get attention, and also like attention from Valve, attention from the community, and I feel like the community is just getting so used to them now that I honestly would not be surprised if the bots eventually just go away naturally because the kids hosting them just get bored. So yeah, that's what I see to be the future of Team Fortress 2 going forward. Not that great. You know, I don't see a heavy update in the future as much as I want one. I don't see that in the future, but I do still see TF2 existing and still being playable to an extent. I see the community taking more and more control over of running servers and stuff like that. I really think that will be the future of TF2 going forward. As long as the bots are still around, I highly doubt pubs are going to be fun anytime soon. You know, when the bots are in them, obviously. I've had plenty of times when they aren't, you know, destroying a server, but the other half of the time, the server's just getting destroyed by bots. So I don't see the bots going away anytime soon. Like, I still think they'll be probably around for like a year or two, but I think eventually they'll die out naturally. Again, when the hosters just get bored and they really don't see a reason to continue hosting the bots because the community has just got so used to them. It's part of the game now, basically, which is pretty depressing to think about, but hey, at least the game will be around. I don't think the servers are going to get shut down. I don't think everyone's going to quit. TF2 is not going to be a dead game. People really overreact about that. Alright, so now to the fun part, what I would like to see in TF2's future. Now, I'm going to be reasonable here. I'm not going to be like, oh, I want Team Fortress 2 to be ported to Source 2 engine, I want the VR mode, and I want 50 new weapons, no, 100 new weapons, and I want Valve to update the game every day. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, that would be stupid, and that wouldn't be as interesting. You know, I'm going to be more nuanced, okay? So, the main thing that I would like to see from Team Fortress 2 is the community members really leading the development of Team Fortress 2, and I mean that literally. There are members of the TF2 community who have been programming mods, who have been doing a ton of stuff for Team Fortress 2 that I would like to be hired by Valve. I think hiring people specifically to work on Team Fortress 2, as well as specifically to work on other projects like Counter-Strike. There are probably plenty of people who would like to work on Counter-Strike at Valve and definitely could. They have the skills, they have the portfolio. They just aren't being hired because Valve doesn't hire enough people. Valve, for how much money they make, have an incredibly small sample of developers. They're a tiny company. I think they have about 350 employees last time I checked. And for a company that's a multi-billion-dollar company, that is insanely low. Now, I don't want Valve to change how they treat their employees. I think Valve is probably one of the best places to work at, period, let alone in the game industry. But really, I think they can do a lot more with that money, like hiring people to work on their projects that are mainly dead. And there are plenty of TF2 people in the community who would do that. That off the top of my head, I can think of SigSev and MasterComs. Alright, and there's plenty more. Those are just two individuals I can think of. Having the community lead development would not only lead to more frequent updates, but also updates that people actually want. A lot of times Valve just adds random shit into the game or does updates for random shit that no one really cares about. The updates honestly have been disappointing, and at least in my eyes, for honestly even Jungle Inferno was kind of disappointing. I think if the community had more involvement in that update, it would have been better. Alright, second wish for the future of Team Fortress 2. I would like to see legal action taken against bot hosters. I highly doubt that this will happen. I don't even know if they're technically breaking any laws. However, I feel like what they're doing should be illegal. I know that's probably a ridiculous statement, and yeah, it probably is. However, I do think Valve could do it. They've done lawsuits against that Valve Twilight Sparkle person who was like also a hacker on TF2. I don't know if that was due to copyright shit. I'm just recording this off the top of my head, so it could be for a completely different reason. However, these bots are like actively ruining your product, Valve. I don't know why you don't try to take more action. Well, I do know why. It's because you're still making money off the game. So technically there's no reason. But I really think, and I really wish Valve would be more responsible with their product. And finally, for the future of TF2, I want optimization updates and bug fix updates and balance updates. I'm personally someone who doesn't think TF2 really needs that much new content currently. There's a lot of content that's in the game that's either broken or just isn't very good and could be changed to be more interesting or just be better. I'm talking about maps, I'm talking about weapons, I'm talking about cosmetics too. There's a lot of stuff in TF2 that's just not up to par, and I think it would be really, really cool if Valve, if they do end up doing major updates again, they focused on reviving old content instead of adding new stuff. I really don't think TF2 needs that much more weapons. I think the Heavy needs a couple more weapons, like, I don't know, some stuff that make shotgun and melee heavy better, and that's it. I really don't think the game needs that much more content, besides, like, maps and stuff. Might be a hot take, but yeah. I am much more interested in, for instance, arena mode coming back. I'm much more interested in the Sandman being changed or buffed. I'm much more interested in maps being tweaked so that they perform better. I'm much more interested in just general changes that make the game run better if possible. Obviously, I know TF2's code is just the biggest pile of pasta, but seriously, I do think there could be some stuff done. So yeah, that's what I want to see in the future of Team Fortress 2. I think it's pretty simple what I'm asking for. Maybe not the last part, but I think the previous ones could be easily done if Valve just cared slightly. Anyway, guys, if you liked that video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it too. And I'm excited to continue making videos next year. The Basic Brick is out.
Have a nice day.